Welcome to the second hour of This Morning. Here are today's headlines. The Presidential Committee on Autonomy and Decentralization has passed the proposal to allocate a spending of 154.9 billion won and provide funding support for decentralization of government authorities starting on the first day of 2021. The committee will also devise the second revised act on the blanket devolution of centralized administrative power to local governments by the first half of next year, including an outline of local government's authority to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic. Head of the committee, Kim Soo-neun, said they will systematically implement decentralization measures to expand local government's power so that local residents feel a tangible difference. 21 police officers who, in good conscience, disobeyed the Chun Doo-hwan administration's order to violently subdue Gwangju residents during the May 18th Gwangju democratization movement were finally paid the wages they were denied as punishment for non-compliance 40 years after. But due to the lack of consideration of interest or inflation, most of them only ended up receiving about 100,000 won, the exact amount of their wages in 1980. Ruling Democratic Party lawmaker Lee Hyung-suk pointed out they should be compensated with overdue interest to have their honor restored, citing a relevant Supreme Court precedent from 2006. The government is lowering requirements to be eligible for public rental apartments, allowing middle-income households to apply for public rental housing, including about 900 homes in popular residential areas in Seoul, such as Nowon, Gangnam, and Songpa districts. The maximum income to qualify for public housing of 30 to 60 square meters will now increase from 4.35 million won to 9.33 million won for a four-person household, significantly increasing the number of households who can now take advantage of significantly reduced rent compared to market price. Finally, Japan has revealed its intention to support Nigeria's WTO Secretary General candidate Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala over South Korea's Trade Minister Yoo Myung-hee. According to Kyodo News, Japan's decision remained the same since their initial position in July when the candidates were first nominated. Japan's decision was most likely influenced by the possibility of a WTO's intervention into the current South Korean-Japan conflict. This came after Japan imposed export restrictions as a way of boycotting the Korean Supreme Court's ruling on forced labor during the Japanese colonial period. And you can listen to these headlines once again on our YouTube channel by searching TBS eFM. Once there, you'll get a script of the headlines and subtitles as well. Coming up, an assessment on the U.S. presidential race, including takeaways from the final presidential TV debate.